Hello my friends, once again time to get down to the brass tacks on the reality of the Resident Evil situation going on. Capcom says, just in under a week, we're gonna get some new news when it comes to Resident Evil. As of the last few years, I've been unimpressed to say the least when it comes to the Resident Evil content they're providing. As a day one fan of Resident Evil, I don't think there's anything they can do to drag me back in. They'd literally have to drag me back in, because currently we're still waiting for Resident Evil Village's DLC, and I did not like Resident Evil Village to say the least. I think it's the worst Resident Evil game right next to Survivor, or perhaps any of the other ones people have forgotten about in time. The truth is this, before we get off the rails, I just want to bring this up. Resident Evil Village, although it did not impress me, I thought Biohazard was good. The fact is this, Resident Evil Village ruined Biohazard for me. Therefore, post-release of Resident Evil Village, I have no interest in this storyline now. It is dead! And I don't want to say why, because people will say, oh, spoilers, Dylan, even though it's years later. But we're gonna keep the train on the tracks. The train is this, people. Resident Evil Village was supposed to have content coming with it. I think people kind of forget that RE-verse was supposed to be the multiplayer component included with Resident Evil Village. You didn't pay $60 for one game, you paid $60 for two, and you got one out of it. So therefore, where's your $30? Where's your $32 or whatever, plus tax? I mean, let's get down to it! Resident Evil disappointed me for years. In a few days, will they disappoint me again? Probably. Unless they dish out Resident Evil verse and come out with some DLC for Village, a game that is dead to me on arrival because it is just that damn bad. But if they release the content that is promised, maybe we can start wrapping this Ethan Winter story up. This stupid bullcrap with the mold, because it is terrible. It is awful. And if I had to put it to a singular sentence, it'd be this. The damnation of the Resident Evil nightmare is becoming an infinite darkness that has captured me permanently with its unusual choice making when it comes to villains looking like a Marvel movie! A Marvel movie! A Marvel movie! You guys like Marvel movies! Now let's get to the meat and the potatoes. Resident Evil 4 Remake? Are you guys dead serious? They don't even have DLC for Village yet! And I'm not gonna sit here and defend Village and say it's anything but scum, because it frankly is. But the truth of the matter is people paid more than $60 at certain turns when it comes to this game. They paid for the special edition that came with some digital in-game items and promised DLC, if I'm not mistaken. If it didn't, well, you guys really got ripped off, didn't you? But frankly, I didn't buy the piece of scum because I wouldn't even toss it into the fucking fire. Yeah, I didn't buy the piece of scum because it just doesn't really have anything to it. If you guys like the tone and the characters, that's great. But anyone who comes to me and says the gameplay is anything but shit on the bottom of my fucking shoe, well, then we're gonna have a serious issue. Because you can't even interact in that museum of a world that is Resident Evil Village. And frankly, I'd rather see a Resident Evil 4 remake, but I just don't think they've got the brass. I don't think they've got the balls. No potential in their shorts over at Capcom. With these lazy millennial developers who still have me as an ambassador. Imagine still not taking me off the list despite being so pissed off that I tell the truth. Yeah, keep sending me those emails, Crapcom, because I am here, and I am listening! Unlike so many fans in your fan base who just love to spend, buy! How many times do we have to send the message, people, that this is one of the worst times in history for gaming? And frankly, it's time to wake